All right, so first up, I'd like to introduce Carla from Simpson Print, as well as Kevin from SwissQPrint.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Hi, Kevin. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. So I'll begin and introduce you, Kevin, since I asked you to participate, and I thought it was a great opportunity from the manufacturing side for this event. So certainly wish to begin by acknowledging the efforts of GCM and Ryerson and everything that they've done to basically assemble this rather critical two-day symposium. So we strongly believe that the efforts in building this green event was an excellent opportunity to talk about the industry at large and to share the efforts of the print industry. So green is not just about consumer awareness and sexy sustainable marketing. It's about driving awareness and taking the smallest step in all levels of the print workflow, from design through to manufacturing, production, finishing, and fulfillment. So who's Simpson Print and why are we here today with SwissQ? Well, Simpson Print is a soon-to-be 60-year-old organization. We are a print marketing and manufacturing company who has one of the most diverse and integrated all under one roof facilities on both sides of the border. We are a rather more than meets the eye organization, delivering high resolution screen print, extensive wide and small format digital, and UV offset. We're a team of print intelligent and omni print experts, and we're well regarded in the industry for our substrate savviness and our specialty print coatings for a wide range of applications, for POS, 3D merchandising, and certainly packaging, which I know you'll touch upon quite a bit in the next 2 days. So printed is an extremely dynamic medium, and this reflects in the manufacturing process. I've always said that our industry is a quiet leader in communication evolution and technological advancements, driving efficiencies, finding more productive, more expedient, quality-driven methods to delivering ink on paper and various substrates. It is really what's defined the industry for many decades. With this said, I believe that the green economy is the next emerging trend that will really shape and define our industry and our economic landscape. And those that understand those shifts and educate their clients will ultimately be the leaders throughout the industry. Essentially, our own organization have definitely been early adopters in green workflows, about embracing the smallest shift in our process and through our people to shape and change how we print and do business daily. So green is not just about the end product, which Amanda really did an excellent job of delivering that message. It takes courage to become a green leader and recognize that green in both design and manufacturing takes collective willpower and many voices along the way to change. There are so many small steps to take the journey from our plastic dependency one to one that demands wood and paperboard reinvention. The infrastructure is the key to building a greener print economy. I want to really share one brief example before I more thoroughly introduce Kevin. We worked with a client over a 2-year period of time, one of our global brands, and we discussed investing in green product and understanding that the process is equally important as that end product, and to ensure that they really valued who you align with from a vendor perspective. So for years, this company invested heavily in foam core and plastic in their C-store POS deployment strategies. Through hard work and collaboration and exhaustive meetings, morning, noon, and night, we successfully transitioned their annual launches to an eco-friendly paperboard. The reality is that green is not cost effective. And for many brands and many emerging leaders, they simply cannot afford these products. Brand leaders such as Unilever have the power, they have the market share, and they have extensive voice in the industry to really courageously remove and avoid plastics in POS. And this really does become a marriage and a responsibility between like-minded vendors and brands. The reality is, as you all must know, and we've heard it often, is that 50% of plastics are used once and thrown away. If your partners are demanding more foam core, think again, question the end application and the campaign longevity. This is how we strive to build more meaningful partnerships through education and awareness. Last but not least, as an organization, Simpson Print never ever accepts the status quo. As I mentioned earlier, we are leaders in specialty printing, coatings, effects, tactile enhancements, embellishments, and packaging. So we're currently working with a vendor in the UK who's testing seaweed as a coating and an alternative form for food packaging. Seaweed does not compete with farm crops. It certainly grows in abundance and contributes directly to deacidification in all of the ocean. So we look forward to that continued journey. We've already invested as an organization to date over $500,000 towards a facility, when we talk about process, that minimizes waste through automation, enhanced LED lighting throughout the facility, and more importantly, capital investments and aligning with manufacturers that are equally committed to reducing their carbon footprint. Green is, again, I cannot overstate this, it's about the process, the inks, the air quality, the efficiencies, the plant efficiencies, and most importantly, employee awareness. So with that said, I wanted to take this quick opportunity to introduce one of our key manufacturing equipment suppliers, SwissQ. Simpson Print is proud to be one of the only North American vendors who have multiple SwissQ Nyala presses, and believe that this has been a one-of-a-kind investment in our core value and our commitment to sustainability and transforming the industry to a more green and aware overall marketplace for our vendors and our brands. So from here, I would like to personally introduce to you Kevin Graham, the Canadian Director of Sales.
Thank you, Carla. And
You're
thank you again for getting me involved in this. I feel very fortunate to be able to present our product today. So that's great. So thanks again. I'm going to share my screen and have a little presentation for you. Okay, can everyone see my screen okay? Okay, thanks again, Carla. So again, my name is Kevin Graham. I'm the territory manager for SwissQPrint in Canada. And who is SwissQPrint? Again, I'm not quite sure how familiar everyone is with SwissQPrint. We are a household name in Europe in the printing business. Our Nyala printer, the one that Carla just mentioned, has been the top-selling flatbed printer in Europe for the last 6 years running. So we are getting more and more recognition in North America, but we are a Swiss manufacturer manufacturing high-end digital printing systems with a focus on our key values: high precision, outstanding performance, exceptional reliability, exemplary service, and then environmental compatibility. And you'll see the term green tech. So green tech is our internal initiative for lowering the carbon footprint for our customer base. So how are we doing that? How are we lowering the ecological footprint? First, all of our printers are produced 100% in Switzerland under one roof. So we're really reducing the amount of shipping that's being done in terms of bringing in components. 95% of all of the components in each of our presses are sourced in Switzerland. These are all very high-end components. There's no shortcuts taken with our SwissQPrint presses. And why is that important? Well, because we're using high-end components, they last a lot longer. There are no shortcuts taken. There are not any cheap parts that are constantly being replaced and being put into landfills. Our printers are very, very reliable. In fact, we have a service life of up to 13 years for our presses. And the reason I mention that is that our company was founded in 2007, with the first printer being sold in 2008. So that printer is still in the field running today. So as of today, 13 years in business, SwissQPrint has 0 printers in a landfill. I've been selling printers in the wide format business for about 13 years myself, and I've sold multiple different manufacturers, many different products, and I can tell you that I have customers that I've flipped 2 or 3 times, and SwissQPrint is the only one where you have the sale and it lasts a long time. Low maintenance. So again, 80% of our service calls are resolved over the phone. So rarely does a technician need to be on site, which is really reducing the amount of travel that our technician is doing, not only within Ontario, but across Canada and globally. One of the biggest contributor factors to lowering the carbon footprint is the introduction of LED printing. LED bulbs consume a lot less energy than traditional mercury vapor or latex technology. Mercury vapor bulbs would need to be replaced every 500 to 700 hours approximately. And again, mercury being the main component there, they're being discarded. And I can't speak to how many people are replacing or disposing of those properly, but if I had to make an educated guess, I would say not very many. With the LED bulbs, they're rated for 20,000 hours of printing. Generally, it'll last the life of the printer. Again, LED bulbs also are a cold cure. So there's no heat, and one of the key components to that is heat is one of the factors when on wear and tear on many of the components in the system. So again, our parts are lasting a lot longer because of the cold cure. Again, going back to LED bulbs consuming a lot less electricity and have a lot lower emissions. So on that, when you look at SwissQPrint was the first large format manufacturer to get their printers ISO certified for energy efficiency. The ISO certification is an international organization of standardization. So it is something that is recognized globally as a certificate for low energy consumption. So our printers use about 3 kilowatts per hour. So when you're comparing, what else could you use with 3 kilowatts per hour? You could drive a Tesla 16 kilometers. 2 electric kettles run for about an hour. Or you can print about over 2,000 square feet, about the area of a tennis court, with 1 hour. So energy efficiency is something that is a big part of lowering our ecological footprint. Ink technology has come a long way as well. All of our inks are Green Guard Gold certified, which basically means they have a low chemical emission for indoor use, where such as hospitals and schools, hotels. All of that is certified with that Green Guard Gold certified, and they are VOC free. So that's kind of the Coles notes on what SwissQPrint is doing to lower the ecological footprint for our customer base. I know that this was something that was very important to Carla when we first introduced SwissQPrint to them. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions from a printer manufacturing side. Was there any? Oh. Can you hear me still?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I'm not sure what happened there. Stop sharing. There we go.
Hey, I have a question for you guys while we wrap up here. What would you want students to know from a manufacturing perspective as they enter the industry?
You want me to take that, Kevin, or do you want to go?
Go ahead, yeah, and then I'll throw my 2 cents in after you.
Okay. So my answer is not just about the sustainability side of it, because that is a very career-centric question. I personally, and perhaps a little non-objectively, think that this industry is absolutely one of the most dynamic mediums. I believe it's an industry that has a place for absolutely any skill set. It is not one for the faint of heart, as the technology, as I alluded to earlier, continually reinvents itself almost on a 2-year cycle. It is an extremely rapid, deadline-driven industry, but it is filled with a host of diversity, from procurement-minded individuals through to more free thinking, marketing, designers, packaging engineers. And as you really embrace the industry and really seek to align to understand the medium, not just one lane, but who are your vendors like SwissQ, and understanding the complete picture of everything that goes into the end package, the end product that ends up in our hands as consumers. To me, that's when you really become a solution expert, an SME. So I'm not objective. I think it's one of the most exciting times to enter the industry. It's not for the faint of heart. Every project is different and unique, and no 2 customers ever look the same. So there's a lot to unpack there, but that would be my quick answer.
Yeah, technology is always evolving, like Carla mentioned, and it's been in the last about 5 or 6 years that I've noticed from a wide format standpoint that the environmental angle has really played a big factor. I know that's one of the reasons that SwissQPrint moved from traditional mercury vapor bulbs to LED bulbs, was that there was such a green component to it. And all of the technology moving forward, all of the advancements that we're making today, that is at the forefront. I mean, if you go to the SwissQPrint website, there's the mission statement, and then talks about our green tech technology. Those are the first two things that you see before you even get into any of the product portfolio. So any advancement that SwissQPrint is making, and I'm hoping that all the other printer manufacturers as well, it's keeping that environment in mind as well.
Cool. Thank you so much for your answers there.
I will make one comment if I can, if I may, just to add on to what Kevin said from a print manufacturing side. I really cannot underscore how important the partnership and the amount of time and methodology and reflection went into our capital investments with SwissQ. It has allowed us to differentiate ourselves, but the UV LED aspect was absolutely critical to the why we entered this partnership. And we are traditionally, our core business was traditionally screen print, which is a notoriously toxic offender and emits an extremely high degree of pollutants. SwissQ not only had that versatility and mimicked the ink deposit and saturation of what our customers were used to receiving for exterior applications and interior applications with screen, but SwissQ achieved all of those criteria and points that were critical for us and for our clients. And they really are a global leader on the green side of the business. So that really cannot be underscored. You know, it really was actually an excellent presentation, Kevin, because I'm reminded of why that's so critical to the process.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carla and Kevin, for your amazing joint presentation.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you guys, you too.
Bye-bye.